I'm 22 pulling out of my work parking lot around 11 p.m. and I'm hanging up my phone. And I hear my voice saying, "Love you, bye baby." But all I'm thinking is, fuck you. And it's the kind of thought that feels so loud that you're not sure if you actually said it. To give you some context, I just moved to Atlanta 3 hours away from my college town where my girlfriend still is. And our relationship was already a little rocky. There wasn't a whole lot of trust. We had different values. The communication was not on point. But the distance had just made everything worse. Now that she wasn't in my bed every night, I wasn't sure which bed she was in. And maybe you can call me paranoid, but it wouldn't be the first time that she'd gone out when she said that she was staying in. Or when she got drunk at a bar with men who were strangers before that night and ended up at their place. And every time I would ask, of course nothing happened. No, of course not. But why did it keep happening again and again? Why was my girlfriend lying to me about where she was the night before when we both have each other's location? Why does it feel like now every conversation we have is just, "Hey, how was your day?" "Great, I'm going to bed." I had so many thoughts and emotions boiling over in this point in my life. Anger, resentment, fear, love. In this period of my life, I was terribly uncharismatic because I couldn't have the focus to develop any of my relationships. And that's when I realized, oh shit, I'm failing at my sales job. I haven't made any new friends recently. I haven't done anything fun with my coworkers because I've been dealing with so much emotional stress that I've just thought was normal. And the thing is, bro, you've tried being outward before. You've tried making new friends. You've tried being open and charming, but the eye contact tricks don't work. The down-speaking, the feigning interest in their life, it hasn't gotten you anywhere. But I'm here to say it's not your fault, bro. With the overabundance of bullshit that there is on YouTube right now, it's no doubt the top 5 hacks to speak like Tom Holland wasn't the video to change your life. Because right now YouTube is filled with the people who are teaching the tips and tricks that are going to make you irresistible, to make every person love you, to make sure that no woman ever rejects you. But bro, it hasn't worked because these clean shirt motherfuckers don't understand us. You're not fucking dumb. You know how to make eye contact. You know how to speak with confidence, but you are not facing the real issue that no one's talking about. And of course, you can become the social version of yourself that makes deep friendships easily, that speaks to girls with confidence, that is looked up to by the people around you. Of course you can, because social skills are skills, bro. You can improve. But the counterintuitive approach that you have to take to this is you have to focus on the inner side of things. What in your psyche is truly holding you back? And I'm always going to be real with you, bro. I'm not going to promise you that every person ever is going to like you or that you're never going to be rejected again. But I am going to promise you that if you take this video seriously, it's not going to matter. You will have the support from the people who actually click with you, from the girls you actually want to date, and from the strongest connections that you've ever made in your life. But to form these relationships, to become irresistible to the right people, you have to take these 3 steps that are each going to attack the psychological root that is holding you back right now. If you don't already know who I am, my name is Luke Grenoble, and we are a gang of like-minded young men who are no longer settling for the monotony and depression of living a life with average social skills. If that sounds like something you want to be a part of, hit subscribe right now. Our goal by the end of 2025 is to create 100,000 social celebrities, and I hope that you'll be one of them. Because you and I know that leveling charisma is one of the most important life-changing things we can do, because the relationships that we have are the biggest predictor of life happiness. Because of this, I offer a one-to-one mentorship program where we work together to create the social life that makes you unrecognizable. The link is in the description, but I will speak more on it right after the final, most important step that changed my social life at the end of this video. My promise to you is that after watching this video, you will know exactly how to combat the 3 mental setbacks that don't allow you now to create the relationships that you want. And you will have action steps that you can do right now to see progress today. Step 1 is become an opener. The first mental change that you have to make is you have to realize that making friends and dating girls is a numbers game, and you have to play it. You're never going to make the friends that you want when you think, there's no one cool out there, why even try? Really, bro? No one? It only takes 1 or 2 incredible, deep friendships to change everything. Is it not worth sorting to find those 2? And you're never going to find your crowd if you're waiting for people to approach you. I get hit with people in the comment section saying, oh, if they're quality people, they'll seek me out. Who told you that, bro? Real life doesn't work like that, and to be honest, you know that. If you have an intention in life, you have to make it happen. And you can, because you're pretty fucking powerful. But if you wait for it to be given to you, you're going to be waiting for a long time. The only reason that you have the habit of trying to act cool, trying to act nonchalant, is because You're afraid of what might happen if you get rejected. And this makes sense, bro. Of course you are. Your ooh-ah-ah monkey brain makes sure of it. It's hardwired to fear rejection. In caveman times, we needed to fit in with the tribe so that we could survive. But that's not the world that we live in anymore. The men who get what they want out of life have learned to ask for it. They've been rejected enough times that they don't feel the sting of it anymore. And this is a superpower. And you have to remember, bro, that the spotlight effect makes it seem like everyone is paying attention, noticing you all the time, when in reality, they aren't. This means, of course, no one is going to approach you if you don't put yourself out there. It also means no one cares if you fuck up a conversation, flub a presentation, if you come off as awkward. No one remembers because they're too busy thinking everyone is looking at them. And now this is your superpower. Point being, if you don't actively seek out the friendships or relationships that you want, you won't find them. And the upsides of finding those amazing connections are huge, and the downsides are basically zero. And if you ask me, what's way scarier than rejection is the consequence of never trying. But when you are open to meeting every person, meaning you're making eye contact, you're smiling, and if they're reciprocating that, you're initiating the conversation. When you do this, you meet lots of people that you don't 100% vibe with, and lots of people that you absolutely do. But the only way that you're going to meet the ones that you want to see again is if you meet all of them. So introduce yourself to people at every opportunity, every time you sit down at work, in one of your classes, on a plane, in the grocery store. Introduce yourself to the people around you and say something kind. Because not only does this make their day better, but it makes you feel incredible too. What a sick way to go about life. Plus, you now have social proof on your side when you meet everyone, so people are going to think that you're a friendly and well-connected guy, even if you're not. Your biggest mental obstacle in this phase is overcoming social anxiety. It's a little voice in your head that says, he's probably busy anyway. I don't want to bother her. I can't talk to a stranger. It'd be weird. You know this voice is bullshit, but until now, you have listened because it keeps you comfortable. The more you seek discomfort by explicitly going against what this voice is telling you, the less of a grip social anxiety is going to have on you until it's non-existent. Because the cure to fear is action. Step 2 is becoming intoxicating. Because think, who do people like to be around? It's people who make them feel good, right? People associate you not with what you say, not even with what you do, but with how you make them feel. And now that you're meeting people, the next step is just getting them to feel good when they're around you. And most of the social advice out there has led you to believe just talk about your interest. Just be similar to them because people like people who are similar to them. And sure, that's how you can get along with people who have the same interests and values and hobbies. But how is it that the most likable, popular people you know have everyone's attention? It's not by changing their hobbies and interests with every single person they meet. So they're not following the advice of the masses. It's instead by mixing 3 things: authenticity, positivity, and interest. When you mix these 3, you don't just make people feel similar to you, like how most people go about being social, but you make people feel safe, important, and you raise their self-esteem. And these 3 are the killer combo, bro. This is the wombo combo right here. Because imagine if every time that you talked to me, you felt really good about yourself. Would you talk to me again? Of course you would. It's intoxicating, but most people don't know how to do this. The first part of becoming intoxicating is authenticity, because people don't want to be around people who seem fake or too perfect. When you're around someone who seems like they have no flaws, it feels pretty sterile. It's almost as if we instinctively know no one is perfect. They must be hiding something. It's one of the reasons why I open all of my videos with a story. Not only is it probably a little bit relatable to you because you've been in the same position, but you know that I'm not perfect. I never try and come across as perfect, because if I did, you wouldn't know that I would have been through the shit parts of life and have learned these lessons the hard way. But when you show your odd interests, when you show your genuine feelings, the things that might make some people not like you, when you show all of this, it gives people a feeling of safety. And they can relate to you because they're human too. They have flaws. Even if they're really into cars and you don't give a fuck, you're cool driving your 2008 Honda Civic. Just saying that, just telling people, yeah, my dream car is a 2009 Honda Civic. Like, not only is that funny, but it lets them know you're not trying to get anything out of them. You're not trying to make them like you. You're just being you. And so show the things that you like and be honest with the things that you don't. Next is positivity. The most simple way to make people feel good is to bring up good things. Make positive associations with them, with the world. Be hopeful, but it must be genuine, because people can tell the difference between you genuinely being an optimistic guy and you just making shit up. Human beings have very good bullshit detectors. Your key to this is developing this natural optimism. Not just because it makes your life way better to live. Optimistic people are way happier, make more money, are more attractive to others. But because it's a more realistic view of the world. What we have is fucking sick, bro. Not only is there a 0.00001% chance for there to be life anywhere, but we live in a time where our ancestors have improved shit to an incredible degree. Like, yeah, now we have to worry about the effects of social media, which does suck, but you know what I'm not worried about? If the people around me are going to be able to eat tonight. If a winter is going to kill off my family members. If my wife is going to die in childbirth. This was normal shit to worry about not that long ago. Yeah, I might not be rich, but you know what? I get to live a better life than most kings in history ever have. And sometimes, I get to eat Oreos, bro. Kings did not have milk's favorite cookie. And I used to have a pity party for myself daily. I'd wake up before I went to high school and was like, oh my God, my life sucks. But I'm effortlessly optimistic now. And I attribute all of it to gratitude journaling. Because gratitude journaling, in the most literal sense, changes how your brain works. Write down 3 things that you're grateful for every single day and you become an incredibly positive influence. Last is interest. The last time that you felt really heard and listened to, how did it feel? What was the other person doing? You were probably speaking about something you were interested in or maybe even something you were struggling with. And even if that person couldn't relate, they still listened with intent and tried to understand. Being genuinely interested in another person gives them a feeling of importance. And we all need to feel important and cared about. It's a basic human need. Give this to others with active listening. This means you're not thinking of the next thing to say before they even finish their sentence, bro. Listen to their entire thought. Let the mental images of what they're saying to you play in your mind. And really think about it. You can even pause for 2 or 3 seconds before responding. It's not weird. It shows people that you're actively listening and genuinely thinking about the things that they're telling you. It also shows that you're not afraid of silence, which is pretty fucking powerful. Develop a genuine interest to understand how other people live their life, and you will never be alone. Your biggest obstacle in this phase is overcoming negativity. Because right now, your negative voice points out everything that could be better about the world. And it makes baseless claims like, we'll have nothing to talk about. They aren't interesting anyway. But bro, I'll let you in on a secret. The way that you think about others is the way that you think about yourself. If you constantly pick out the negatives of people, it's because you are insecure. You have to find what's wrong with them so that you can deal with the fact that you think so negatively about yourself. To overcome this, you must start seeing yourself and the world positively even before you really believe it. Because it's much easier to think that this person might have something interesting about them if you genuinely think you're interesting. Your practical steps to make this happen are 1, gratitude journaling. I already mentioned it. 2, positive affirmations. Yeah, they sound cheesy. They look cheesy when you're saying shit to yourself in the mirror. But there's a reason why almost every success book includes them. There's a reason why almost every therapist preaches them. It's because you program your subconscious. The things that you tell yourself over and over again, you start to believe. And this is such goated advice that no one listens to, is that the real world is just a reflection of your mind. The more that you create a positive mind, the more that your world is going to change. And you don't have to be super cheesy law of attraction type shit with it, but you look at yourself in the mirror and you genuinely say with emotion, I like myself. And you're going to believe it. If you do that in the morning for 1 month, you just in the mirror say, I like myself with some emotion, you're going to feel a difference. And it's much easier to be a likable person when you like yourself. Congratulations, you now have your first affirmation. Step 3 is to become irresistible. The last step is not only about being intoxicating, but about becoming the kind of guy that people don't want to stop being around. The kind of guy people want to invest into. And this is where your deep relationships come from, both friendships and romantic. The key to this is developing a higher than average emotional intelligence, which is pretty fucking easy to do because no one tries. And it comes from 2 things. 1 is continuously putting yourself in the other person's shoes, which bro, you probably don't struggle with because if you were anything like me, you already do this. Probably too much. You're thinking all the time, what are these other people thinking about me? How does this thing I said make that person feel? You're overthinking and worried about what other people think. The good news is you already have an advantage over others in this category. But you struggle with the second half of this, the other side of the coin, which is understanding your own emotion. This is where the bulk of your work is going to be. Because you cannot have productive conversations and relationships if you aren't aware of how you feel. It's like you're just acting on impulse at this point. And because it was a skill I had to develop at a young age, I've always been pretty good at reading people. But I've never understood my own emotions until recently. What do you think led me to be in the kind of relationship that I mentioned at the beginning of this video? It's not because the girl I dated was toxic or some awful person. It was my fault. Because I allowed that to happen because I didn't understand what I needed, what I felt. So I couldn't stand up for myself. It led me to be a fixer in every relationship that I had. Oh, you went out with your friends and got so fucked up that you can't drive home? Oh, It's okay. I don't know how I feel about it, but it's okay. I'm gonna fix everything so that I know you love me. Oh, your dad was mean to you? Let me put the rest of my life on hold and go do all of these nice things for you so that I know you will love me. And this wasn't just a one-time thing for me, bro. This was a pattern that I had for years, and it was taxing on my life and ruined relationships. And it's my fault for not understanding it. But when you understand yourself, not only do you avoid wasting years of your life making these mistakes, but it unlocks your ability to have deep conversations, to form close relationships. The main obstacle here is overcoming ignorance. The first step is to start connecting with and understanding yourself. And if you think you already understand yourself, I'm especially talking about you, bro. Because when's the last time that you sat down, bro? You didn't have your phone, you weren't checking your phone, and you just thought. If you're anything like I was, you might have never done that before in your life. Now it is time to start deep journaling. Stare at your wall. Throw your phone on your bed on silent. Don't even have it near you. You stare at your wall with nothing in front of you but a pen and a piece of paper, and thoughts will come. Just write them down. Stream of consciousness. Big things will come up. And when you come across a problem, something bothering you, a strong emotion, ask why. And continue to do so until you reach this root cause. Because now your problem isn't, I don't approach girls. It's, I subconsciously believe that I'm not worthy of the kind of girlfriend I want because I constantly compare myself to unattainable standards. This is where you want to be, because then you have the ability to ask yourself, is this a rational, helpful way to think? And if not, what belief can I choose to replace it with? Just outlining your struggles and emotions and rethinking them on paper is going to save you years of struggling with the same problem. Your action step is to save this photo or print it out. I'll link it in the description. Just give me your email. Nah, just kidding. I'll just link it. You probably don't have the emotional intelligence quite yet to say, oh, I'm feeling grief right now, or I'm feeling resentment. It's more so just a general bad feeling, right? You get into a funk. Every time you feel in a funk, look at this chart and think exactly, what do I feel and why? Because just understanding and feeling through the emotion is going to help you to overcome it and make a rational choice. And this is level 1, right? Level 2, which is going to happen soon, is whenever you are able to start recognizing these patterns before you get into these funks, before you are feeling these negative emotions, and before you get stuck in any ruts. This is how it seems like some people can just be on top of the world all the time. It's because they've learned their negative emotion spirals and they just weave their way around them. And this is how you're going to do it. Because now you are in leadership territory. When you start becoming influential, you start becoming a leader, kind of on accident. Because people naturally want to be like you. They're going to want to help you. They're going to want to do what you do. And this is fantastic. But you have to be the kind of person who can deal with the life of being a social celebrity. Because when you are likable and people start to open up to you and you become pretty popular, people will say dumb shit. People will ask you for things that you cannot give. And people are going to hate on you for no other reason than envy. This is just part of being a social celebrity. And it's so worth it for every night out that feels like it's out of a movie. For the dates that are unforgettable, for the deep conversations with brothers that you create that make you feel so in love with life. But you must be prepared for it. Leveling your emotional intelligence unlocks this new level of authenticity. You're able to truly understand how to speak your mind to your friends and the girls you date. And you can also sort out exactly what you want out of life, why you want it, and from there, how to get it. Your action step is to journal the exact kind of friend group or relationship that you want. What do you all do? What is the relationship like? Be very specific with it, and then journal, who do you have to become to make that happen? With these 3 steps, you now know how to open people confidently, how to become intoxicating to speak to, how to develop your personality to allow deep conversations and the strongest connections you've had in your life. And if you want to take your social skills to the next level and unlock the confidence to thrive in any social situation, stop waiting. Click the link in the description right now to watch my video that reveals the counterintuitive way that you can fast track your social growth by years with my personalized one-to-one mentorship package. Your social celebrity journey starts today. Go ahead and leave a like on this video or save it to a playlist so you can come back to it as you're implementing each step, and leave a comment with the story of your social journey or the next step that you're taking after watching this video. Because not only is the gang your free accountability group, but your comments inspire me and every other man who's only one step behind you. Act now and become unstoppable.